Alright, so the FAA just announced this new certification they want you to have with the little test and all that stuff. They announced it in June. It's now July 8th. Let's check it out. Open up Edge here. FAA.gov. Drones. We got a recreational flyer. So all the rules here for recreational flying is actually everything that's on the test. So fly only for recreational purposes or enjoyment. Follow the safety guidelines, although they have not begun to officially recognize guidelines from these organizations for the guidelines. Keep your drone within the visual line of sight or use a visual observer who is co-located physically next to you or in direct communication with you. Give way to and do not interfere with manned aircraft. Fly at or below 400 feet in controlled airspace, only with prior authorization by using LANC or drone zone. Fly at or below 400 feet. Take the UAS test, trust. This is what we're going to do. Have a current registration on your drone and keep proof of your registration on you. Do not operate your drone in a dangerous manner, such as interfere with emergency response or law enforcement. Do not fly under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Blah, blah, blah. So click here. And these are all the places you can take it. And it's free. So if someone wants to charge you, don't. We'll pick this one, the Chippewa Valley Technical College. And here it is. Yellow button. Alright. Welcome to Trust. Blah, blah, blah. You're free to read this at your leisure. During this course, you'll learn how to plan your flights, not to fly. Blah, blah, blah. Requirements. Gotcha. Keep your drone visual line of sight. Give way. Never interfere. Get authorization. 400 feet. Register. Any flying for any reason. Fun not alone. Gotcha. For flying drone, it's important to understand you are sharing airspace with a variety of other aircraft. Okay. Airspace flying too many kinds. Okay. Air sports. Okay. Where can you fly? Yep. Identify you're in controlled or uncontrolled airspace. If you're in controlled airspace, you're likely to get authorization. Okay. Check for airspace restrictions. TFR. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're gonna share okay. Recreation flyers should not directly contact ACC facilities to request approvals. Use LANC, UAS, or Drone Zone website. Gotcha. I remember back in the day you were supposed to contact the tower. Those days are gone. Facility maps. Yep. I mean, this should be all common knowledge if you've been flying for a little while. LANC is an automatic LANC or Lance, however you want to say it. It's not covered control airspace. Use drone zone, carry record flash. Okay. Okay, so here's the test. A recreational flyer is a person who may be paid for flying, flies for fun, or allowed to fly for a business as long as they're not being paid. For fun. Next. A recreational flyer does not need an airspace authorization. Which type of airspace? Uncontrolled. What can be expected during a presidential visit or major strong event? TFR. There it is. How can a recreational flyer find information about the airspace in their area? Do not call the cops. Do not call the FAA. Check Air Mapper before you fly app. How can a recreational flyer get an airspace authorization? Do not call the control tower. Do not contact law enforcement. Lance or drone zone. What area could controlled airspace normally be found? Small towns, airport cities, or all airspace control space. Near airport cities, metropolitan areas. What is the maximum altitude? 400 feet. Everybody knows that. Oh boy, more text. It is your responsibility to make sure you understand how your drone works and has a good working condition, of course. Before each flight, check yourself, the weather, area where you fly in your drone, make sure everything is best possible condition, think about turbulence, sudden changes. Remember, the person flying the drone is ultimately responsible for all aspects of the flight, including where it flies, how it flies, and all the rules followed. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Make sure that you're physically, mentally ready. Check the weather. Stick your head out the window. Okay. Check your drone, especially after a nice crash, as all FPV pilots like to do. Here we go. What should a recreational flyer do to reduce the chance of an accident with another aircraft? Use FPV. Contact other aircraft on the radio. Absolutely not. Avoid distractions and be aware of the surroundings. There it is. Check your drone before and after each flight is a good idea because it's time when damage can be identified. That is true. Who is responsible for making sure a drone does not fly too high? The CBO, person flying the drone, or the fixed site operations boss? The pilot in command. Who is responsible for the drone in flight? Recreational flyer, traffic control, local law enforcement. Pilot in command. Recreational flyers should be aware that some medications can affect their ability to fly safely. That is true. Recreational flyer must be aware that windy conditions can make drone difficult to fly, easier to fly, or not have an effect. CBO, FAA recognized group for most recreational flying. Remember, flying under exception for recreational flyers requires you to operate in accordance with FAA recognized CBO safety guidelines. Gotcha. Using a visual observer does not allow a recreational flyer to fly a drone beyond their visual line of sight. If you are using FPV goggles or expect to be looking at your control station most of the flight, you must use a visual observer. Actually, I honestly do this a lot. My wife kind of is always with me when I'm flying, and she is my VO. Especially if I'm flying around, like, we go camping a lot, and there's kids and stuff that are always running around, and when they see the drone, oh my goodness, I gotta go check it out. So she kind of helps me, says, hey, you got someone coming, and I'll either avoid the area or land somewhere away from us. Maintaining visual line of sight is important because it helps you to avoid, of course. Recreational flyer must follow the safety guidelines developed by CBO, produced by the FAA office, or approved by City Council. CBO. Recreational flyer must always keep a drone within their visual line of sight. That is true. When in flight, the drone must give way to a manned aircraft if it's below 400 feet. Manned aircraft is above the drone at all times. Using a visual observer allows a recreational flyer to fly a drone beyond the visual line of sight. That is false for recreational flying. When using first-person view, no, you can never go beyond line of sight. I was thinking FPV. When using first-person view, the visual observer must keep the drone in sight at all times, be located next to the recreational flyer, all the above. Maximum weight, flight test, blah, 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 you got it. Connection, sharing loss, control links, most common cause of drone incidents, fail safe. You can only use signal interference with connection, blah, blah, blah. Gotcha. DJI guys, recreational flyers should know how their drones' automated features work before using them. Please, for the sake of the rest of us. Automated features continued. How to safely turn automated features on and off. Do not rely on GPS. Auto land, follow me. Practice flights. Oh, goodness. This is getting boring. All drones flown under 250 must be registered. You got it, boss. Right there with my guns. If asked by law enforcement, FAA personnel, you must have these documents on you. Knowledge check. Recreational flyers should know how their drone will respond before using any automated functions. True. Before flying your drone for the first time, it's a good idea to, you cannot fly over people. You cannot file a TFR. If asked, what must a recreational flyer provide to law enforcement? Proof, all the above. The FAA registration number is required to be displayed on the outside. All drones weighing more than 250 grams must be registered with the FAA. You got it, Uncle Sam. Congratulations. Oh, I feel so accomplished. And then we type in our name. The tab key doesn't work. Okay. There it is. Submit. Click here to save certificate. There it is. Oh, amazing. I am now certified as a trust. The FAA trusts me now. There it is.